There's a certain warmth and beauty in a place that holds decades of memories. Inside the Davao Museum of History and Ethnography, the past rests in time. From hand-woven textiles dyed in earth and fire, to brassworks echoing the rhythm of ancestral rituals, every piece carries a soul of Mindanao. And at the heart of its transformation is a former banker who stepped into the world of culture by quiet conviction. In this episode of BAYI, we meet with Sylvia Lorenzana, who took on the challenge of rebuilding the Davao Museum not as a relic of what was, but as a space that inspires what could be.
I am Sylvia Lorenzana. I am currently the Executive Director of Davao Museum of History and Ethnography, and at the same time, the President of Mindanao Agri-Network Corporation, a family-owned business engaged in the production and sale of rice. It's a far cry from my previous work and experience as a banker for 32 years. I started my banking career after I passed a competitive entrance exam for Philippine National Bank right after graduation in 1966. I was lucky to have been assigned in Davao branch because the passers were then given posts in different PNB branches in Mindanao. Working in the bank exposes one to stringent rules on customer service, professionalism, and integrity. From teller to other minor positions, I rose to Senior Assistant Manager of Davao Branch before I moved to Manila in 1987. My PNB years in Manila exposed me to more difficult challenges, like serving a more diverse clientele, managing branches, meeting deadlines and business targets, and making client calls in a traffic-congested environment like Metro Manila. It was rewarding though, because PNB sent me to several business trips to the US and Europe, Thailand, and Australia as well, as a reward for good performance. I was already a senior vice president when I availed of the early retirement program of the bank in mid-1999. I remember that whenever I would meet a successful bank client or read about his or her rise to prominence, I would feel inspired and was encouraged to work harder in my job. I have always believed that if you are focused and you work hard enough, you will achieve your targets and your dreams. I am the eldest among a family of 10. And I've been responsible for taking care of my younger siblings, and this responsibility taught me to be diligent and mindful of tasks assigned to me. My parents were very conservative in their ways and believed in discipline and hard work. I believe that this discipline has guided me in whatever job I do and my life in general. My official trips abroad, and most especially my personal trips with my family, exposed me to the diverse cultures of the countries we visited, and museums are always a part of our itinerary. My husband, who is a very wide reader, loves to give lectures about history, and it must have left some imprint on my consciousness of culture and the arts. I can think of Dr. Riz Pangan, a Datu Bago awardee, one of the founders of Davao Doctors Hospital and Davao Museum of History and Ethnography. She was the one who recruited me to join Sonta Club of Davao City and later appointed me to help Davao Museum. After seeing the old Davao Museum then, I asked myself, how do I improve it? How do I make it appealing to the public? Where do I get the funds? I knew it would involve a lot of work. I have just returned to Davao after 13 years in Manila, and having retired from the bank, I didn't have much to do then. So I took the challenge. The museum then looked old, so I wanted to change its look, to give it color and light, and a modern design of its display cases. Museums must be able to attract visitors or guests, and just having artifacts on display will not be interesting enough. A museum should be aesthetically attractive, aside from being a place to learn history and culture. I wanted a museum that Davao City could be proud of.
From the world of banking to leading the Davao Museum, Sylvia Lorenzana's journey is shaped by discipline and a deeper sense of purpose. Up next, we explore how Sylvia's quiet leadership turned vision into reality, and how the Davao Museum became a space of living memory and pride. Previously on BAYI, we followed the journey of a woman who turned an unexpected chapter into a legacy, shaping a cultural space for people to learn and reconnect with the past. And now, we go deeper into her leadership and the stories she helped bring to light.
The Davao Museum Foundation's Board of Directors, led by its president, Judy Ann Prantilla, and chairperson, Dr. Riz Pangan, have been graciously helping in keeping the museum sustain its operations. But foremost of all, I need to mention the name of Gino Gonzalez, a famous production manager and scenographer who modernized Davao Museum's design and interiors, especially the display cases of the collections, practically for free. There's also Noni Cartagena, another Manila-based museum designer who would fly to Davao every time we launched a new exhibit. Currently, I get assistance from academician Pamela Castrillo and her husband, Iggy Castrillo of Ateneo de Davao University, in creating new exhibits that tell stories about Davao, its people, and its culture. When I became a senior bank executive, there were targets to meet and management concerns that needed my full attention. I needed to balance this with the demands of being a wife and a mother. Maybe I was good in managing time because, thank God, my two children have good careers and I'm still married to the same man for 52 years now. I should not forget to mention, though, that raising funds for the museum was the most challenging task of them all. You need to present your vision and mission clearly, that renovating and supporting the museum will benefit the community, because tourists and visitors would always want to know the city's history and culture. In 2005 or early 2006, we needed a museum that we can proudly show to the participants of the ASEAN Forum, so I immediately planned its renovation. I approached many people who I thought would have the means to give financial support, as well as some collectors who could donate their precious collection to the museum. Their financial help in funding the renovation proved that if you have a good project proposal and you're able to present the outcome or benefits of a project, people will help. I guess my marketing experience in the bank helped me a lot too. We have had art exhibits in the past to showcase the works of local artists, normally in between changing exhibits on history and Mindanao culture. I believe that local artists should be given a space to present their works in the museum, and I hope this will become regular in the future. My favorite is the one about the Japanese in Davao, entitled Davao Ku, the Abaka, the Japanese, and the Making of Davao. It was about the role of the Japanese in developing the Abaka industry in Davao and how intermarriages with the Lumads and local women led to Davao being named Little Tokyo. I had a Japanese guest 2 years ago, and when I took her to the museum, she cried after reading Davao's timeline of history and learned about the influence of the Japanese in Davao. I feel most fulfilled when I see museum guests reading and appreciating what they see, reacting to the stories they've read, and relating their own stories with the history of Davao. When I hear the guests complimenting the artworks on exhibit and asking questions about the museum, this interest somehow validates that the museum is doing its work. One should not be afraid to do something outside of one's comfort zone. There are so many new things that one can explore, but you need to work hard for it. You need to believe in it and have the confidence that you can do it. I am approaching 80, but I intend to stay active in our family business and pursue whatever new project will interest me. Thinking forward, I would like to think the Davao Museum would continue to help in projecting Davao's unique history and character as a pioneer in agricultural development and as a model of diversity through its different indigenous tribes. My dream is for the museum to continue its mission to educate the young and to inspire them that there is so much that Davao can offer its residents and also prospective investors, that Davao is a beautiful place to live in. I'm looking forward to seeing Davao Museum move to its new home in Ateneo de Davao University so that its collections can be appreciated by more people and its legacy will live on for a very, very long time.